Hey everyone, so I just got back from Iceland and boy do I have a lot to tell you guys of what I experienced when I was there. My name is Katie, welcome to my channel. Now let's talk about the things that I did when I was in Iceland. The first thing I checked out when I was in Iceland was the Rainbow Street. It was so cute. It's literally just a road that is painted rainbow, and around it is a bunch of cute shops and souvenir places that you could check out. I also stopped by a yummy coffee place and had coffee and crepes. I also checked out a local grocery store to see what kind of different snacks and candy they have. The Rainbow Street led me right to the Hallgrímskirkja Church. This church in person was incredible to see. The pictures don't do it justice. I went inside to check it out and it was super beautiful inside. The second day that I was in Iceland, I took the adventure to the Blue Lagoon and I loved my experience there. If you're ever in Iceland, this is definitely a must-see. If you have the funds for it, I recommend that you try to do the retreat at the Blue Lagoon. It's more of a private spa experience, so it includes saunas, steam rooms, and the Icelandic ritual. But the only downside of the retreat is there's no phones allowed in certain areas, so sadly I wasn't allowed to get any photos and videos in that area, but I liked the privacy of it and I was still able to go to the actual Blue Lagoon, and then I also had a more private experience at the retreat Blue Lagoon. Also, if you're going to the Blue Lagoon, I recommend eating beforehand because the food there was not worth the prices at all. So definitely eat before going. The third day I was there, I did a 3-hour food tour, and this food tour took us to 5 different locations in Iceland, and we got to try different Icelandic cuisines. My least favorite cuisine was I tried fermented shark, and let me tell you, it was not good. But it is a traditional cuisine for Iceland, and it really helps with your digestive system. So I mean, if you get the chance to try it, might as well. All the other food on this tour was really delicious. I tried their Icelandic hot dog, which is something that they're really famous for. They even have a picture of Bill Clinton hanging in the back of the hot dog stand. So that's definitely a must try. Get it with all the toppings and get the whole experience. I also recommend that anytime you're going to a new country that you book a food tour so you can try all the different cuisines. Also, on the third day after my food tour, this day was just full of eating. I booked a 3.5-hour Michelin star experience. And wow, let me tell you, it was well worth the price. It's really expensive, but it was worth it. It was like a hidden speakeasy Michelin star restaurant, and you're sitting at the chef's table, and we had so many courses that I left there not hungry at all, but it was so good. The flavors and the food were just delicious. You also have the option to book your courses with wine pairings, but I didn't do that because I wasn't feeling wine at the time. So they paired my courses with non-alcoholic beverages. So it was like sparkling tea and kombucha and different kind of juices, and it was so good. On my 4th and final day of Iceland, I booked a 10-hour full day bus tour. It took us to 4 different sites to see around Iceland, and the first stop that we went to was the Skagafos waterfall. Let me tell you, this waterfall was beyond beautiful. I have never experienced a waterfall this amazing. But if you're gonna go on this tour, I highly recommend that you wear waterproof clothing, because the closer you get to the waterfalls, the more wet you're gonna get. And I am so glad I had my waterproof clothing on because I got as close as possible, and if I wasn't wearing waterproof clothing, I would have gone back on that bus really wet. The second stop that we saw on this tour is, I don't know how to pronounce it and I don't want to butcher it, so Google help me out with this one.
Sólheimajökull.
We took a small hike to see this glacier, and this glacier is perched right behind the Katla volcano, which is the largest volcano in Iceland. It was really awesome to see and experience. For our third stop on this tour, we stopped at the, Google help me out with this one,
Reynisfjara.
also known as the Black Sand Beach. It was so weird to walk on black sand rather than white sand, but it was pretty awesome at the same time. It was really cool to see the basalt columns too on this beach. Overall, it was just an amazing experience to be able to walk on a black sand beach. And I made sure to stay 5 feet away from the water because I didn't want to get picked up by the sneaker waves. And if you don't know what sneaker waves are, they're basically waves that can knock you off your feet and then drag you into the ocean. And for the 4th and final stop of this tour, we stopped at another waterfall. Google, help me out with the name of this one.
Seljalandsfoss.
After seeing this waterfall, I can officially say that I walked behind a massive waterfall. And I am again so thankful that I had on waterproof clothing because this one definitely got me more wet than the last waterfall. It was honestly such a beautiful experience to be able to see this waterfall in person. To summarize my Iceland trip, it was purely amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it, and the weather there was perfect. It was like 40, 50 degrees rather than living in Vegas where it's 100 degrees during the summer. I would rate this trip overall probably like a 9 out of 10. I would definitely go back, but next time I go back, I wouldn't stay in the capital. I would love to go stay somewhere more in nature environment where I could be surrounded by the mountains and the ocean. I highly recommend that you guys go to Iceland and check it out for yourselves. And that concludes the things that I did when I visited Iceland. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name's Katie, and I'll see you guys next time.